Buddha sat beneath the banyan tree, its leaves swaying gently in the evening breeze. Disciples gathered quietly, hearts heavy with questions. His eyes were calm, as he surveyed them, sensing the weight of their inner struggles. Buddha's voice resonated softly, carrying the wisdom of centuries. "A man holds a burning coal," he began, his tone deliberate and soothing. The coal burns his hand relentlessly. Yet, instead of releasing it, he claims it as his possession. Does it cease to harm because he claims it as his own? Silence filled the grove, as disciples pondered his words, the metaphor sinking into their minds like ripples in water. Ananda, seated closest, hesitated before speaking. "No, Blessed One," he answered. "The coal continues to burn." Despite the claim, Buddha nodded, his expression filled with compassion, and pointed at a small bowl beside him. "Consider this bowl," he said. "It was shaped by a potter who once called it his own. Now, it serves me as a vessel for alms, a temporary possession." He picked it up, turning it gently in his hands, allowing sunlight to dance upon its surface. "Tomorrow, a storm may carry it away, or someone else may take it," he continued. "Is it truly mine, or does its existence transcend ownership?" His disciples exchanged glances, their faces reflecting a mix of curiosity and unease. Buddha rested the bowl on the ground and continued speaking. "When we hold tightly to material things, we do not bind them to ourselves," he said. "We bind our hearts to suffering." The grove remained tranquil, the sound of distant birds accentuating the profundity of the teaching. "Letting go is not losing something," Buddha explained. "It is gaining the freedom to walk without burden, to breathe without chains." A disciple named Kema raised her hand hesitantly and spoke. "Master, is it wrong to possess anything? Then, must we live without possessions entirely?" Buddha's gaze softened as he replied, "Possession is not inherently wrong. Clinging to it is what we must learn to release." He gestured at the trees around them, their roots deeply intertwined with the earth. These trees possess the soil's nourishment but do not hold tightly to it. When the time comes, they release it, gracefully. The disciples listened intently, their eyes fixed on Buddha, absorbing his words like parched earth welcoming rain. He paused, giving them time to reflect. Before continuing, "A wealthy man burdened by his riches," he said, his voice lowering slightly, "can possess much but sleep not." Consumed by fear of loss, the imagery struck a chord within the group, their minds wandering briefly to their own experiences, their own possessions. Buddha leaned forward, his presence radiating tranquility. "To let go of attachment does not mean to abandon all," he clarified. "It means to see all without the veil of ownership, without the chains of desire." Disciples nodded, some in understanding, others in contemplation, grappling with the depth of his truth. Ananda spoke again, his tone curious yet hesitant. "Master, how does one truly release attachment without abandoning responsibility or connection to the world?" Buddha's expression softened further, a glimmer of warmth illuminating his face. "Ananda, the path of release is not a path of neglect," he began. "It is a path of wisdom." He picked up a handful of sand from the earth and held it out before them. "To own this sand is futile, yet I may hold it lightly in my hand. It serves me momentarily, and when the time comes, I allow the wind to carry it away." He opened his hand, letting the sand drift in the breeze, each grain returning to the earth where it belonged. "This is release," Buddha said. "Not abandonment, but harmony with the flow of life." His disciples watched the sand disappear, their hearts stirred by the simplicity and beauty of the act. Buddha looked up at the sky, his gaze contemplative. Even the stars released their light to the darkness. Unburdened by their brilliance, he said, "Would we do any less?" The grove's atmosphere deepened, as disciples sat motionless, fully present in the moment. immersed in Buddha's teachings. A young boy who had wandered into the gathering spoke suddenly, his voice trembling. Master, what happens if I am afraid to let go? Buddha turned toward him, his smile gentle, his words nurturing. Fear is the shadow cast by uncertainty, he explained. But remember, letting go is not falling. It is rising above. The boy's eyes widened, as he felt the wisdom take root in his soul, a faint ember of courage kindling within him. Buddha gestured at the flowing stream nearby, its currents steady yet unobstructed. Observe the water, he said. It carries the leaves effortlessly, letting them go without hesitation. Does the stream fear the journey, or does it flow freely? The disciples followed his gesture, watching the stream, its endless movement reflecting the flow of existence itself. Buddha rose gracefully, his movement as natural as the wind passing through the grove. Do not fear letting go, he said. Fear holding on so tightly that you lose the ability to move forward. He walked to the edge of the grove, his figure illuminated by the setting sun, his presence filling the air with serenity. Turning back to face them, Buddha's final words resonated deeply. The world is vast and abundant, yet it asks nothing of us, he said. To let go is to live as part of it, not apart from it. The disciples sat in silence long after Buddha had departed, the echoes of his wisdom enveloping the grove like a tender embrace. His words lingered in their hearts, planting seeds of understanding that would bloom in their journeys. The evening turned to night, as the banyan tree stood quietly witness to the transformation within those gathered, their burdens slowly lifting. Buddha's truth about possession had begun to illuminate the path before them. One step closer to freedom. Another day, another moment for truth to unfold. Buddha walked through the narrow lanes of Rajagriha. The bustling town shimmered under the golden sun, its people weaving stories of trade and survival. A wealthy merchant named Govinda approached Buddha with a troubled look. Blessed One, I seek your guidance, said Govinda, his tone laced with urgency. Though I possess great riches, peace eludes me. Buddha paused, his calm gaze meeting Govinda's restless eyes, and motioned for him to sit beside him under a fig tree. The two settled as a soft breeze carried the whispers of distant conversations. Buddha's voice carried wisdom as he spoke. Tell me, Govinda, Buddha began, if a man builds walls around him to protect treasures, does the fear of losing diminish? Govinda hesitated, his fingers clasping the edge of his robe. No, Blessed One, he confessed. The fear remains, perhaps grows stronger with every passing moment. Buddha nodded gently, his presence steady as a flowing river, easing Govinda into reflection. Riches, like water, can nourish life when flowing freely, Buddha explained. But when hoarded, they stagnate, breeding sorrow and unrest. Govinda's brows furrowed as he struggled to reconcile his desires with his distress, his heart yearning for solace. Buddha rose gracefully and beckoned Govinda to follow him. They walked in silence toward a stream that meandered through the outskirts of Rajagriha. Bring a gold coin with you, Buddha instructed, his tone soft yet unwavering. Govinda complied, retrieving a shining coin from the folds of his garment. The stream sparkled under the sun's rays, its gentle current singing songs of transience. Throw the coin into the stream, Buddha instructed, his calm voice compelling. Govinda hesitated, gripping the coin tightly, its metallic coolness anchoring his uncertainty. Why do you hesitate? Buddha asked, his gaze serene yet penetrating. Does the coin's value lie in its weight, or in your attachment to it? Govinda's throat tightened, his grip loosening slightly as Buddha's words echoed in his mind. The coin represents my labor, my successes, Govinda murmured. It is a part of my identity, yet it torments me. Buddha nodded in understanding, his hands clasped before him as the stream whispered its eternal song. To release attachment is to unburden the soul, Buddha explained. To let go is to make space for peace to enter. Taking a deep breath, Govinda extended his hand, allowing the coin to slip into the stream. The water embraced it, carrying it beyond sight. Yet within Govinda's heart, an unfamiliar lightness blossomed. A sigh of relief escaped his lips. His spirit briefly unshackled. Buddha turned to him with a faint smile, his expression radiating gentle encouragement. Do you feel the burden lessened, even if but slightly? He inquired, his voice as soothing as the stream's flow. Govinda nodded slowly, his gaze fixed on the rippling water, its surface reflecting clarity he longed to attain. I feel lighter, he admitted, his voice tinged with surprise. But how do I sustain this peace amidst life's demands? Buddha placed a hand lightly on Govinda's shoulder, his touch imbued with compassion and steadiness. The stream flows not by holding back, but by embracing the journey, he said. In relinquishment, it finds its purpose. Govinda's thoughts churned as he followed Buddha back toward the town, each step resonating with new understanding. Along the way, they encountered a group of laborers, their faces etched with both weariness and resolve. One among them, a man named Ashok, carried an overfilled basket of stones upon his back. Buddha stopped, his eyes softening as he observed the man's struggle. Ashok, Buddha addressed him gently. Why do you carry so much upon your shoulders? Ashok paused, his breath labored, and looked up at Buddha with both reverence and bewilderment. The stones are my livelihood, he explained. They must reach the market, for they sustain my family. Buddha tilted his head slightly, studying Ashok's burden with quiet contemplation. And if you place a few stones down, Buddha asked, will your family's sustenance diminish? Or will your load become bearable? Ashok hesitated, his grip tightening on the basket's rim, his mind wrestling with Buddha's question. I do not know, he admitted, his voice uncertain. Perhaps I carry more than is truly needed. Buddha's gaze softened further, his voice imbued with understanding. To carry only what is necessary is to walk with steadiness, Buddha said. To carry excess is to stumble under its weight. Ashok set the basket down, removing several stones with trembling hands, his shoulders easing as the burden lightened. Buddha's smile deepened, his presence radiating encouragement. Does your breath feel freer now? Buddha asked. Ashok nodded, a faint smile spreading across his face, his gratitude evident. Yes, Master, he replied, his voice steady with newfound clarity. My step feels lighter, and my heart less constrained. Buddha turned to Govinda, his words bridging the moments they had shared. Attachment weighs not only the body, but the soul, he said. In releasing, we reclaim the lightness within. Govinda's gaze met Buddha's, his heart stirred by the simplicity and profundity of the teaching. As they returned to Rajagriha, Buddha paused at the entrance to the town, his eyes scanning the horizon as if seeing beyond the physical realm. The world offers us all that we need, Buddha said, his voice carrying the weight of truth. Yet, we often imprison ourselves within the walls of possession. Govinda felt the impact of the words reverberate within him, his soul awakening to the possibility of freedom. As Buddha's figure faded into the bustling streets, Govinda stood motionless, his heart silently vowing to embrace the path of relinquishment. The gold coin, lost to the stream's embrace, no longer seemed a loss but a gift, a step toward liberation. Govinda knew the journey ahead would not be easy, but within him now dwelled the courage to begin. Under the Rajagriha sun, life continued its unceasing rhythm. Yet for Govinda, a new melody had begun to play. The stream's song lingered in his mind, a reminder that to flow freely was to truly live. Another day, another lesson waiting to unfold. Buddha walked into the tranquil monastery of Jetavana. The air was still, the sky painted with hues of amber as the sun began its descent. A young monk named Sona approached Buddha with a troubled expression. "Master, I am filled with doubt," Sona said, his voice barely above a whisper. "Though I have renounced everything, my heart remains restless." Buddha gestured for Sona to sit beside him on a simple wooden bench. Under the shade of a neem tree, the leaves rustled softly, as if whispering encouragement to the uncertain monk. Buddha's voice carried the depth of the earth and the expanse of the heavens. "Tell me, Sona," Buddha began, "if a lute string is pulled too tight, will it produce music or discord?" Sona furrowed his brows, considering the question carefully before responding. "Discord, Master," he replied. "The string would snap, unable to bear the strain." Buddha nodded, a faint smile gracing his lips. "And if the string is too loose," Buddha continued, "will it create harmony or silence?" "Silence, Master," Sona answered, his voice steadier now. "It would fail to produce any sound." Buddha's gaze softened, his eyes reflecting infinite understanding. "Life is like the lute," he said. "When held too tightly by fear or ambition, it breaks. When held too loosely by neglect, it fails to resonate." Sona sat in silence, the metaphor taking root within his mind, its simplicity hiding profound truth. Buddha leaned forward slightly, his presence enveloping the moment with gentle strength. "Your restlessness arises not from what you have renounced," Buddha explained. "It springs from the tight grip you hold upon the past." Sona's eyes widened, his heart stirring as Buddha's words illuminated the shadows of his inner turmoil. "But Master," he said hesitantly, "if I let go of even my past, what will remain of who I am?" Buddha extended his hand, as if cradling an invisible treasure, and spoke with tender clarity. "When the hand releases its grasp, it does not become empty. It becomes ready to receive the infinite." The wind shifted slightly, carrying the scent of blooming jasmine as Sona's breathing grew steadier. "Observe the moon," Buddha said, pointing toward the horizon where the crescent began its ascent. "The moon casts its light freely, yet claims neither the sky nor the earth," Buddha continued. "In letting go, it fulfills its purpose." Sona's gaze followed Buddha's gesture, the moon's quiet radiance reflecting a lesson he longed to embrace. "Master, how do I practice this letting go?" Sona asked, his voice filled with both humility and determination. Buddha turned to him, his expression serene and encouraging. "Begin by loosening your grip on what you believe defines you," Buddha advised. "Allow the flow of existence to shape you anew." Sona nodded, his heart lighter, as if the weight of his doubts had begun to dissolve under Buddha's gentle guidance. Other monks joined the gathering, their faces filled with curiosity. Drawn by the quiet strength of Buddha's teaching, Buddha rose gracefully, his movement as natural as the leaves swaying in the breeze. "Each of you," he said, addressing the group, "carries within you the seeds of freedom. Yet, the soil of attachment stifles their growth." He walked toward the monastery's lotus pond, the group following in reverent silence, their footsteps light upon the earth. The pond's surface shimmered, reflecting the heavens, its waters calm and untouched by the ripples of desire. "Be like the lotus," Buddha said, pointing to a bloom that rose above the water, its petals pure and unblemished. "It grows amidst the mud yet remains unsoiled, rooted in harmony with its surroundings." The monks gazed at the lotus, its beauty a silent testament to the wisdom Buddha shared, their hearts moved by its symbolism. Buddha turned back to them, his expression filled with quiet conviction. "To let go is not to detach from life," Buddha said. "It is to live fully, without grasping or clinging." Sona stepped closer, his voice steady but soft. "Master, what if the world tempts us to cling again? How do we resist its pull?" Buddha's gaze met Sona's, his eyes reflecting the timeless patience of one who has walked the path before. The world tempts because it promises permanence where there is none, Buddha said. See the illusion for what it is, and it will lose its power. He picked up a pebble from the ground and handed it to Sona. His gesture calm and deliberate. Hold this pebble tightly, Buddha instructed. Watching as Sona complied. Does your grip bring comfort or strain? It strains, Master, Sona admitted, his hand growing tense around the small, unyielding stone. The tighter I hold, the more it hurts. Now release it, Buddha said, his voice imbued with gentle authority. Sona opened his hand, the pebble falling to the earth with a quiet thud. How does your hand feel now? Buddha asked, his tone inviting reflection. Free, Sona replied, his voice tinged with quiet amazement. The strain is gone, and my hand feels light, Buddha smiled, his presence radiating encouragement and warmth. So it is with the mind and heart, he said. Release the grasp, and freedom will follow. The monks stood in thoughtful silence, the lesson unfolding within their minds like the petals of the lotus. The moon now hung higher in the sky, its light bathing the grove in soft silver hues. Buddha turned to the horizon, his voice carrying the timeless truth that echoed within every heart. The path of release is not one of loss, he said. It is the path of becoming whole. As the night deepened, the monks returned to their cells, their hearts alight with the wisdom Buddha had shared. Sona sat by the lotus pond, his gaze fixed on the water's still surface, the reflection of the moon steady and unwavering. In the quiet of the night, Sona felt the first stirrings of true peace, the harmony of release beginning to bloom within him. Buddha's words lingered like the fragrance of jasmine, guiding him toward the freedom that lay within. The grove stood silent witness to the transformation of a soul unburdened, as the teachings of Buddha continued their eternal journey through time. Embodied teachings, allowing others to witness growth and seek understanding, are of side. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.